What is going on, everyone? Parsnip here, and today I'm gonna go ahead and talk about blocks, either my favorite types of blocks or my least favorite types of blocks. Now, this was actually suggested on my previous video, so I figured, hey, this is probably a very quick video that I could go ahead and talk to you guys about. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, there are a huge amount of blocks in Terraria. So to make this clear, I won't actually be talking about the backgrounds or the walls that these blocks can indeed form, but instead just about the blocks themselves. Like, for example, the wallpapers and all of that won't be on this video. So let's start off with my favorite types of blocks. So an easy favorite of mine would be the wood block. Now you might be wondering why wood? Why not different types of wood and whatnot? Well, I think wood is one of those blocks that just work well with anything, honestly. You'll notice in any of my builds there's always wood somewhere. It's super easy to get, you know, it's not something that's a challenge to get to build with. It works well with most things. It blends, like for example here you can see how it matches the glass. While there are other blocks that don't match, for example the gem sparks, that they leave like a line, they don't blend in. So it works really well on that aspect, that it does blend with most blocks. It just looks good overall, it fits the theme with many other stuff, it's easy to get, and so on. Next up, since we are talking about like the beginning blocks that you can get that I do indeed love, I want to talk about stone. Now, I'm not talking about this stone right here, I'm talking about the stone that you can make, which is the gray bricks, through the actual stone itself. So here you notice that normal stone looks very rough, unpolished, and you normally find this throughout the world. Like right below this little glass dome I made here, you guys can see some stone below. Not only is it super easy to find, it's very common, it's almost unlimited in all worlds, you'll just find an abundance of them. But you can use stone to craft different types of blocks. Not only are they used for statues and stuff like that, but you can also make gray bricks and stone slabs. Now, the reason that I do want to talk about gray bricks as one of my favorite blocks is, again, it works well with most things. It blends super well. Again, just look here on the glass. It looks overall solid, it's pleasing to the eyes, it doesn't stand out too much. One of the main things that I dislike about some blocks in Terraria is how they are way too colorful, or they just don't look polished. For example, look at the chlorophyte, I think it's bricks, right? Yeah, chlorophyte bricks. I have used this before to build, but I really dislike this block. It's one of those blocks that you just can't seem to find a way to match it to something. It lacks that initial appeal of when you look at something, it doesn't stand out that much. It's hard to highlight different things in a build when you have something that just stands out and is just all up on your face. So for example, really flashy blocks such as these are types of blocks that normally I dislike. Sure, they can be used for different things, but these blocks I tend to avoid working with. I do, however, have a build which is like an alien based build with chlorophyte and some other green types of blocks, which ends up looking okay. But again, it's very flashy, it's not something you normally want to make, it's hard to match with other stuff, and it's just overall too bright and of one color. So you have a really bright green, it's hard to match. Like you can't put like blue and bright green. I mean, you can, but it turns out something like this. Like look at this bright green, not even bright green, this is like tungsten brick. It's a much lighter green, it matches with bricks and stuff, but the moment you use the brighter greens, like you see the fire or the gem spark blocks, the emerald gem spark blocks, it's just really bright and stands out a lot. It looks really flashy and different, so it's really hard to build with and work with in general. So let me go ahead and talk about the blocks that I dislike. Not only do I dislike flashy blocks such as these, the crystals, the rainbow brick, that are blocks that, well, they change colors. Gem spark blocks I normally avoid. I love gem spark walls, but I hate gem spark blocks. Flashy blocks like these are types that I dislike. I also dislike blocks such as these that cause lag. Same thing with the rainbow bricks. These are blocks that end up lagging my world. On one of my original worlds, that's deleted now, there was a huge section that was made of rainbow bricks. Whenever I would go there, I would just lag so much. So never again did I use rainbow bricks. Again, it's very flashy, very hard to match with other stuff. Stands out way too much. Same thing with this moving walls, such as that one or this one. Again, blocks that are really hard to match and to work with. Here's like a couple of them. You have the solar fragment blocks, the vortex fragment blocks, all of those in-game blocks, the crystal blocks, anything that's really flashy or that stands out too much are types of blocks that I generally don't like. Sure, in a very specific build or two you can use them, I suppose, but these are probably blocks that almost no one uses and, well, most likely will continue not to use. And besides these, there are a couple of blocks that I do find just unappealing or useless, like the pumpkin blocks. These are some blocks that I just don't see myself building with. Not only this one, but blocks like the cactus or the flesh blocks are just blocks that are very hard to work with. They look different every time you place them, and I just don't like it. It's weird. Like right here, it looks a bit like the hay blocks. Overall, it could just be normal pumpkins. I mean, if you place one, it looks really nice. It could work for making fruits on a tree or on a bush or something like that, but for a building itself, it just doesn't work for me. Another block that I actually dislike is the theme blocks. Now this is, for some reason, it's not as bright as the other blocks, such as the chlorophy or the shroomite, for example. Again, more blocks that are very colorful and bright that I dislike. This one is not that bright, and I really do like the color. It's just that the way the patterns work on this block, I hate. I would really prefer it to not have this really weird pattern. It makes it look like a wallpaper, and I just dislike it. It's one of those blocks that if you try to work with, for example, making columns or stuff, for example, you want to hammer a curve or something, this part right here looks really bad. It doesn't like complete, it looks untouched. Like right here, you see that a piece is missing, it doesn't make the full circle, and so on. Sure, you can make it work on a build or two, but yeah, overall, those are the types of blocks I dislike. And lastly, let me talk about unpolished blocks, such as this one. The ebenstone blocks, the marble, and the granite blocks are all blocks I really dislike. However, as soon as you do make them smooth or bricks, for example, the ebenstone will turn into ebenstone brick. Smooth marble looks amazing, and again, just works really well on a lot of builds. Same thing for smooth granite, or three blocks that I really like. They're not really flashy, they work well with other blocks. I like normally lighter colors or colors that are good to match with, so marble and ebenstone just work amazingly well with a lot of other builds. It has a nice light tone of purple, again works with a ton of blocks for making more evil builds, demon theme builds, or darker theme builds, and they just work really well. And lastly, I want to talk about one of, if not possibly my favorite block, and it's actually a line of blocks, and that is the stucco blocks. Now this comes in different colors such as green, red, yellow, and these work like really well. These are just blocks that I love working with. Again, they aren't bright, they match colors with a ton of other blocks. For example, you might have seen me use these blocks multiple times. For example, if you look at one of my recent Let's builds where I made an ocean biome, I did use this yellow stucco block, and I don't know why. Maybe it's the texture, just the color. It just overall, I just really like these blocks. I feel like they look a little bit more natural. They don't look as polished, for example, as gray bricks or as some other blocks that I do love. However, they do work really well. And yeah guys, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about in terms of blocks. I also have glass block, which you saw me make a dome, which I love. It's transparent, it's pretty unique compared to other blocks, and overall it just works really well. And lastly, before I forget, because I completely forgot, when I was talking about the moving blocks, this also counts for the lava and the waterfall blocks, which I do love as a wallpaper. Again, you probably seen me use these on my builds multiple times, but as a block, I just dislike them. They don't look good per se. It might just be me, but yeah. So yeah, guys, overall, if you want to know my opinion on blocks, this has been pretty much it. I'll just give a quick review on what we talked about. So brighter blocks that stand out too much, that are hard to match, that are really flashy or have a lot of movement and lag my world, I dislike, especially blocks that glow. There are times that these blocks do work, except it's really hard to match and put them in a certain build or just in multiple builds. So these are blocks that you normally don't see people use. Blocks that I do like are blocks that are easy to work with. They fit with a lot of different blocks, how wood could fit with any type of wood or even other types of blocks. How gray brick is pleasant, very pleasant to the eye. It's a lighter color, it's smooth, it just looks well, and it blends in with other blocks nicely. And even if it's not polished, there are blocks like the stucco blocks that I do love, or the smooth granite, the smooth marble, and even stone bricks that are lighter colors that match well and overall just work with different blocks and are easy to build with. A block that I did forget to mention that I do like is the Blue Dynasty shingles. Now these are hard to work with, I won't lie, but since they are based on a roof, these look really well for pagodas and other Asian types of builds. Overall, these roofs are really fun to work with, even though they are challenging and they pretty much only serve as roofs. Since that is their purpose, they work really well. So guys, thank you all for watching. I really hope you guys enjoy these random builds or random videos is what I meant to say. This was actually suggested on my previous video, and I figured, hey, it's pretty fast to make, pretty easy, pretty simple. And if you guys do want to know my opinion, here it is. If you have any other suggestions on videos that I could make like this, if it helps you guys, or if it brings some things to light that you guys had doubt about, feel free to ask them or leave them in the comment section below, and I'll try my best to either reply or make a video about that. So as always, guys, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.